Now continue this in your notebook. Find the zeros of the polynomial function. So number one, you need to identify what x is. So to do that, you need to factor the polynomial. So if you want to find the zeros, or if they're asking you to solve it, they're both the same. So find the zeros mean you need to set up as 0. So your h of f, set it up to a 0. Remember from your chapter 1, your h of x is the same as your y. So basically you're setting your y as 0. So now the left side is going to turn to a 0 and the right side is going to be x squared minus 18x plus 32. Now if you want to find what x is, you need to factor the polynomial. So you want to use the x method. So if you use the x method, it's going to look like this. So the top is going to be your add, the bottom is going to be your multiply. This is always standard. So the middle one is going to be negative 18 in the middle, and the last one is going to be positive 32 on the bottom. So you're thinking, what two number when multiplied gives you 32, and the same two number when you combine them is going to give you negative 18. So 32, you can break it apart as 16 times 2. So 16 multiplied by 2 will give you 32. 16 combined with 2 will give you 18. So I'm going to write 16 and I'm going to write it 2. So once you get the numbers, then you need to focus on the sign. So I need to get negative 18. So negative 16 and negative 2 combines to give you negative 18. And negative 16 times negative 2 will also give you a positive 32. So once you get this, now we need to write the factors. So I'm going to use the variable x, which is given in the question. So I'm going to open up two parentheses. So the first one is going to be x minus 16. The second one is going to be x minus 2. So now I'm going to set it up to a 0. They are asking you to find the zeros. Find the zeros means they are asking you to solve it all the way through. So negative 16, I'm getting it from here, and negative 2, I'm getting it from here. So once they are asking you to solve it or find the zeros, I'm going to set them up. I'm going to break it apart. So I'm going to set x minus 16 as a 0, and I'm going to set x minus 2 as a 0. So solve your one-step equation, add 16 on both sides. You're going to get x equals 16. Solve your one-step equation, add a 2 on both sides. You're going to get x equals 2. So the answer in this case, or the zeros of the polynomial, will be x equals 16 or x equals 2. Copy question number 40. So this is combining your distributive property and bringing all the variables and all the numbers to one side, and then you are factoring the polynomial. So step number 1, x squared stays the same. Now you need to do the distributive property from here to here. You need to open up the parentheses. So negative 10 multiplies x to give you negative 10x. Negative 10 multiplies negative 1 to give you positive 10 equals negative 11. So if you want to find the zeros, one side of the equation must be set up to a 0. So you need to bring this to the other side. So plus 11 on both sides, I can write the number below the number. So this is going to give you x squared minus 10x plus 21 equals 0. So this is what finding the 0 means. You need to set it up to a 0. So now you're going to factor the polynomial. So the second step is factor the polynomial. To factor the polynomial, you're going to use the x method. Condition number 1, you can only use the x method provided the coefficient of x squared is 1. That means you basically don't have any coefficient for x squared, then you can use the x method. So let's put the x, then you have add, and you have multiply. So the middle one goes here, the bottom one gets the last one, which is positive 21. So you need to know what two number multiplies to give you 21, and the same two number it will give you negative 10. So I have a 7 and a 3. 7 times 3 will give you 21, but I need a negative 10, so negative 7 combines with negative 3 to give you negative 10. So once you're done with your x, then you need to solve for x. So let's write the factors. So using the variable x, which is given in the question, so I'm getting x minus 7 and x minus 3. Set it up to a 0. So once again, you need to watch what I'm doing. So negative 7 and negative 3 is what is coming here. X minus 7, x minus 3. So you need to find the zeros. So let's break it apart. X minus 7 is equal to a 0. X minus 3 is equal to a 0. Solve your one-step equation on both sides. You get x equals 7. You get x equals 3. So the zeros of the polynomial will be x equals 7 or x equals 3. This will be the final answer. Copy question number 52. It's still the same kind of a question. It's still the polynomial, and you still need to factor the polynomials. So let's use the x method. So as long as the leading coefficient of x squared is going to be a 1, you can use the x method. So the middle one, positive 8, goes here. The last one, negative 65, goes on the bottom. The first one is going to be a add. The bottom one is going to be a multiply. So 65, what two number multiplied will give you 65? So let's break it apart. I have 13 times 5. So 13 times 5 is going to give you 65. You can multiply and see using your calculator. So now you're thinking 13 and 5 also combines to give you positive 8. The only thing is this, you have a 13 and a 5. You need to get a positive 8. So one of them has to be positive, one of them has to be negative. Positive 13 and in negative 5 combines to give you in positive 8. And positive 13 multiplied by negative 5 will give you negative 65. So those are the conditions you need to satisfy. Think like solving a puzzle, and once you're done solving the puzzle and you got the factors, now let's set it up. So you have x and x. The only condition is this. If you look at the question, you have an x, you also have a y. So the first one is going to be my x, the second one is going to be my y. So now I have x plus 13y, and I have x minus 5y. And this will be the answer. They are not asking you to solve it, they just want you to factor the polynomial. So the answer in this case will be x plus 13y, x minus 5y. If you go back to using the FOIL method, or if you use the table method and try to solve it in reverse, you will get the question back again.